In our first clip of this video, we're looking at footage that may show a real haunted house. A woman is home alone, except for her dog Lucy. It's supposed to be a quiet evening. She's sitting in her living room, scrolling on her laptop and listening to music when something suddenly breaks the silence. Strange noises begin coming from the kitchen. At first she thinks it might be nothing, maybe something shifted, or maybe Lucy knocked something over. Let's take a look.
Hey guys, it's just me and Lucy up here. I was just listening to music. I was on the laptop and we're hearing something in the kitchen. Holy, come on Lou, come on. Hello? Hello?
The clip begins in the middle of the living room. Everything is surprisingly well lit, which makes what happens next even more unsettling. The woman explains what's been going on, and you can clearly hear the fear in her voice. She genuinely believes her house might be haunted. Her dog Lucy also seems uneasy, constantly staring toward the kitchen. Then she slowly turns the camera, and almost immediately we see it. One of the kitchen cabinets suddenly swings open and slams shut on its own. The noise echoes through the room. After a moment of hesitation, she slowly walks toward the kitchen to investigate. Her voice is shaking as she calls out, "Nothing." She calls out again. And the moment she does, another cabinet violently flies open, as if something inside the house is responding to her voice. She freezes, staring at the cabinet in complete shock. So, what do you think? Is this woman really dealing with something paranormal inside her home? Or could there be another explanation behind the scenes? Now the next clip might be even more disturbing. This footage comes from a workplace security camera. The story behind it claims that a certain object in the room is possessed by a malevolent spirit. The video itself is short, but what happens in those few seconds is absolutely terrifying. Let's watch. We see a woman working alone, calmly sorting items from a box. Everything looks completely normal. Then suddenly, her leg is violently pulled backward. Not a slip, not a stumble. It looks exactly like someone grabbed her, but there is clearly nobody there. She crashes to the floor, instantly panicking, but before she can even recover, her leg is dragged again, this time pulling her toward the dark back room behind her. You can hear her scream as she struggles to get free. Somehow she manages to stand up and immediately runs out of the room as fast as she can. What makes this video even stranger is the claim that the doll hanging on the wall nearby is responsible for what happened. Some workers believe the doll was possessed, although most people dismiss the story as nonsense. Now the doll just hangs there, silent, but after seeing this footage, it definitely raises some unsettling questions. So, what do you think? Was this woman attacked by something paranormal? Or is there another explanation hiding just outside the frame? For our third clip of this video, we have a truly disturbing encounter. We are following two friends who appear to be paranormal investigators, but they are actually urban explorers. That means they regularly explore abandoned places, old factories, forgotten buildings, and locations most people would never dare to enter. Tonight is no different. They have entered an old abandoned building. Places like this are usually silent, and sometimes hiding things you really don't want to find. The clip itself is short, but things escalate almost immediately, so watch closely and don't blink.
Cover my back, alright? What the hell's that? That on the floor. Right there.
The footage is almost completely dark. The only light in the entire building comes from the flashlights they're holding. The video quality is old and grainy. Both men are whispering. It gives the impression they probably shouldn't be there. They appear to be standing in a narrow hallway when one of them suddenly notices something on the floor. Curious, they point their flashlights down and try to get a better look. But before they can figure out what it is, they hear something. A noise coming from their right. They immediately swing the camera toward the sound, and the moment the flashlight hits the doorway, everything changes. You can hear the fear instantly enter their voices. Standing inside the doorway is a massive dark figure, tall, completely still, just silently watching them. Then panic takes over. Both men immediately turn around and start running, leaving the building as fast as they can without ever looking back. So what exactly did they see? Some people online believe it could simply be a homeless person or a squatter living inside the building. Urban explorers do occasionally run into people like that in abandoned places, but others noticed something strange. If this was a person, the figure looked incredibly tall, almost unnaturally large as it filled the entire doorway, which raises the question, did these explorers accidentally run into someone living in the building? Or did they encounter something far more unsettling hiding in the darkness? Let me know what you think. For our next clip, we are going back to Gettysburg, a place where thousands of soldiers lost their lives during one of the bloodiest battles in American history. Because of the enormous number of casualties, many people believe the battlefield still carries what paranormal investigators call residual energy, echoes of traumatic moments that somehow linger in the environment. In this clip, the people filming believe they may have captured something known as an EVP, or an electronic voice phenomenon. These are unexplained voices that appear in recordings but weren't heard at the moment they were captured. Let's take a look. The footage starts off quietly. It's broad daylight, and the camera is pointed toward a small wooded area near the battlefield. At first, nothing seems unusual. The person filming slowly pans the camera, almost as if they're simply hoping to capture something strange. Then, you start to hear it. A distant voice. Very faint, but clearly audible. The voice seems to shout a single word: run. And it doesn't happen just once. The same word can be heard several times, echoing through the trees. The tone sounds urgent, almost panicked, like someone warning others of danger. According to the people who recorded the footage, it could be the voice of a soldier, perhaps an echo from the chaos that once unfolded on these grounds more than a century ago. Let's listen to it again, this time with the audio enhanced. So what do you think? A fragment of the past somehow replaying itself? Or could it simply be another person somewhere nearby, their voice carrying strangely through the forest? Let me know what you think. For our fifth clip, we're looking at something captured inside a hospital. And honestly, it might be one of the most unsettling locations for something like this to happen. A woman is visiting her husband, who's admitted to the hospital. While filming inside the room, she starts noticing something off. Now, hospitals have always carried a certain atmosphere, places where life and death exist side by side. Some people believe that strong emotional events can leave behind what's called residual energy. And after seeing this, it's hard not to at least consider that possibility. Let's take a look. Right from the start, we're thrown into the moment. The camera is pointed at the corner of a standard hospital room ceiling. One of the ceiling tiles slowly lifts on its own. Next to it, another panel starts moving up and down, repeatedly. No one is touching it, no visible mechanism, just movement. And it doesn't stop after a second or two. It keeps going, almost like something is trying to push through from above. But what really makes this clip unsettling is the sound. In the background, you can hear a low, almost howling noise echoing through the room. According to the person who recorded this, even hospital staff were disturbed by what was happening. Some were reportedly too afraid to even enter the room, and the patient was eventually moved elsewhere. So the question is, what are we actually looking at here? Could this be something explainable, like airflow issues or structural movement during construction? Or is this something else entirely, something tied to the energy that places like hospitals are said to hold? Let me know what you think. For our 6th clip, we're looking at a piece of amateur home security footage, recorded late at night. The timestamp shows October 10th, 2023, around 11 p.m. The homeowner had been feeling uneasy for days, like he wasn't alone in his own house. Objects would be slightly out of place. Strange sounds would echo through the house at night. But every time he got up to check, nothing. No one. So eventually, he decided to set up a camera. And this is what he captured. Did you catch it? Let's watch that again. The camera is in night vision mode, pointed straight toward the kitchen. At first, everything seems completely normal, but then, in the background, something appears. A dark, shadowy mass moves from right to left. At first, it doesn't even look human, more like smoke or a distortion in the air. It starts to change. For just a brief moment, it almost forms the outline of a person, and then it's gone. No sound. No further movement, just silence. But right before the clip ends, the lights turn on by themselves. No one enters the frame. Nothing else moves. So what are we looking at here? Could this be some kind of camera artifact, a trick of the night vision? Or did this camera capture something far more unsettling, something that wasn't supposed to be there? Let me know what you think. To close out this video, we're looking at something captured inside a store after hours. The owner had been noticing strange activity for a while. Objects falling on their own, unexplained noises, sudden cold spots. At first he brushed it off, but eventually curiosity got the better of him. So he checked his security footage, hoping to find a normal explanation. Instead, he was left with more questions than answers. Let's take a look. It's late at night. Dark outside. The store owner is inside, organizing rented items, completely alone. The footage is grainy, typical for security cameras. At first, everything seems normal, but then something subtle happens. A cart shifts slightly on its own. It's easy to miss, and even he doesn't seem to think much of it. But moments later, an item falls from the shelf. He picks it up, still assuming it's nothing. But this is where things start to escalate. almost immediately, the same item falls again. This time, it's harder to ignore. He places it back once more, clearly starting to feel that something isn't right. Then, right in front of him, another item is forcefully pushed off the shelf. Now you can see it. That moment where confusion turns into unease. He steps back, but it's not over. In the previous aisle, 2 more items fall to the ground, back to back. And at that point, he's had enough. So, what do you think happened here? Is this a classic case of poltergeist activity? Something interacting with the physical world? Or could this all be carefully set up for the camera? Let me know your thoughts. Some footage doesn't come with answers, only questions. This was Void Frame.